right, welcome everyone. We appreciate you being here. Standing room only crowd in the Baylor Club to welcome Coach Dave Aranda to Baylor. And you've done a great job of welcoming he and his family here already. This is exciting. We appreciate everyone being here. Thanks to our host here at the Baylor Club, Mike Mosel and company have done a terrific job in setting up this room and hosting for us this morning. Welcome to those that are here. The Baylor football team is over here as a group. Guys, we appreciate you. We appreciate you guys. Let me give a few ground rules as we begin this morning. We'll hear from Coach, we'll hear from Mac Rhodes, we'll hear from President Livingstone. A little bit later, there'll be a time for Q&A with both Mac Rhodes and Coach Aranda. When we get to that point, let's limit that to the media, please. So media questions only. You hear what I'm saying? Brett Bean is over here. He could fill the rest of the day with questions, and several others could, but let's limit that to media questions only when we get to that point. Thanks for your understanding with that. But again, we welcome everyone that is here in the room, here at the Baylor Club at McLean Stadium. Welcome to those of you that are listening on our flagship radio station here in Waco, watching on the live stream on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. It is an exciting day for Baylor University, for Baylor Athletics, and for Baylor football. And as we continue, let me introduce to you the president of Baylor University, President Linda Livingstone.
Well, thank you so much. It is wonderful to see all of you here, and we're thrilled to be here for this special announcement today. John, thank you for the introduction, and also congratulations on your recent recognition as Texas Sportscaster of the Year. Well, today is a very special day in the life of Baylor and in the community of Waco, and certainly that's in part because we get to introduce our new football coach. But we are also today celebrating and remembering the life of Reverend Martin Luther King and the indelible legacy he left on our country. Reverend King once said, "Faith is taking the first step even when you can't see the whole staircase." We are so thankful to Coach Aranda, his wife Dion, and children Jalen, Jordan, and Ronan for taking a step of faith to join us as we venture up the staircase that is Baylor's future together. Athletics and football in particular have been an important part of the university for many, many years, and an important part of that journey. In fact, the very first location for a football field on this campus was Carroll Field, which was right in the heart of campus where the Bill Daniel Student Center resides today. And today, if you ask students why they chose to come to Baylor, they will tell you that there are three main reasons. First, that we focus on academic excellence within the context of a Christian learning environment. Second, that we are a mid-sized university. And third, that we play big-time athletics. And I think that's something we're doing really well right now at Baylor. And as we continue our path to becoming a Tier 1 Christian research university, as outlined in our strategic plan, Illuminate, excellence in athletics is actually encompassed in the fourth pillar of that strategic plan, where we speak to wanting to have nationally recognized programs in the arts and in athletics. So I am thrilled that we have found a new coach who shares in this commitment to excellence. I have to tell you, I've also really enjoyed reading some of the comments people have written about him on social media. They've described him as cerebral, a philosopher, a student, a ninja. I need a little more explanation on that one. And a genius. So, Coach, I think you're going to fit in really well here on our campus. And after visiting with Coach Aranda, I know that he is deeply committed to Baylor's Christian mission and to our focus on developing champions for life. Coach Aranda, we welcome you, Dion, Jalen, Jordan, and Ronan to Baylor. Know that the Baylor family is here to support you and work with you, and we look forward to what the future holds. And to Mac Rhodes, our Vice President and Director of Athletics. I think Mac must be the ninja of coaching searches. What a thorough, professional, and confidential search you conducted. Thank you, Mac, for your commitment to Baylor, our distinct role in higher education, and the holistic development of our student athletes. It is an exciting time to be at Baylor. We have a bright future ahead, and so we are excited to add the Aranda family to that community and look forward to what is ahead. Sic 'em Bears.
President Livingstone, thank you very much. Thank you for your leadership of Baylor University. You stole my line, so let me just turn it over now to the ninja of coaching searches. Not sure anyone does it better. Welcome Baylor's Vice President and Director of Athletics, Mac Rhodes. Mac.
Wow, what an unbelievable turnout. Thank you for coming out and celebrating on such a special day. You know, as we were thinking about the criteria for our next head coach, the attributes, I will readily admit that ninja wasn't on top of the list, but we'll take it. It's a bonus. So, but again, what a great day. And a really special day to introduce our new head coach, Dave Aranda. There's a favorite quote of mine, or one of my favorite quotes, by Martin Luther King Jr., and I think it's appropriate for today. And it says, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. And today, with Coach Aranda, we're not moving forward crawling, we're not moving forward walking, we're not moving forward running, but we're moving forward flying. You know, as I thought about the significance of this day, and what Martin Luther King Jr. stood for, I thought about certainly equality for all, but this idea of brotherhood. And the moment I thought about brotherhood, I thought about our football team, our young men sitting here to the left. And I remember just walking in the locker room before every game and after every game, and there was a great brotherhood. And that's why we won so many games. And there's not another group of young men that I would go to battle with than with our football team sitting right there. You know, when you embark upon a search, right, it's a journey. And there's so many people that help you along the way, and so many people that you rely on and you count on, and, you know, ask questions and ask them to speak into you. And I want to take a few moments just to thank all of those wonderful people that helped get us here today. And certainly it starts with our leader, who has done such an unbelievable job leading this university, continuing to transform it. Dr. Livingstone. And so thank you, Dr. Livingstone. And then I'm going to ask everyone to hold their applause until I'm finished thanking everyone else. But certainly our chair of the Board of Regents, Chair Clements, thank you for your unbelievable support, and all of our Board of Regents, the way they have supported our athletics program long before I ever arrived, and have continued to do that, and just grateful to them. The search committee, you know, it really wasn't a committee, it was more like a club. It was a group of people that just had great respect for one another, and there was a friendship amongst all of us. And so I'd like to thank that group. Walter Abercrombie, the greatest compliment I can give Walter is that if I was the athletic director while he was a student athlete, he would have been one of my all-time favorite student athletes. Walter, you're about everything that's good and just appreciate you. Marcus Sedberry, our Senior Associate AD for Student Athlete Success, and just appreciate your input, your guidance, and for always providing your opinion, even when I didn't want it. So, but appreciate it. Mr. Paul Foster is a gentleman that I first met in 2003, and just an unbelievable person. Just so much respect for him and just the way he values people. And he couldn't be with us here today, but greatly appreciate him. In the first row here, Regent Larry Hurd. This is the second time that we've done this together. And we were joking a couple days ago that he's now qualified to be an athletic director. So just hold off a bit, all right? So, but just what great wisdom, and just appreciate your friendship and everything that you did. And then finally, Jeremiah Dickey. For many of you know that Jeremiah and I have worked together since 2002, 2003. And what a great person, and I think he's the best number 2 in the entire country. I think he's the best football sport program administrator in the country, and just value him and his friendship, and certainly appreciate him. And then the boss of this club, really the true boss of the entire search, my wife, Amy Rhodes. So. After the Sugar Bowl, Amy and I had this great idea of trying to spend 5 or 6 days quietly alone in the mountains and trying to reconnect, trying to recoup from a great fall season, and so blessed with so many great coaches and student athletes, and certainly the football season. And I think that lasted 24 hours. And so, but like always, she rolled with it, and even provided her opinion at times on who she thought we should hire. So my daughters are here, Nicolette and Natalie, and my son-in-law, Andrew. Just appreciate them. Dion, thank you for letting 6 strangers hang out in your house for 5 hours, right? And Dion served us jambalaya and gumbo and king cake, and we knew that we had hired the right person. So, and then finally, my executive team for just keeping things moving forward, to Coach Rule and to his staff. I think, like everybody in this room, will be forever grateful for what he did and the staff did in terms of their 3 years and moving the program forward. Coach McGuire for serving as interim. That's a really tough spot to be in, and he never wavered, and he did it with class and dignity. And then finally, again, I want to thank our student athletes, our football student athletes. As I was thinking about this, and maybe the greatest compliment that I can give them, you know, we talk about impact on this world. And when I think about our student athletes and our football team, when they walk into any establishment, that place becomes a more safer place. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate each and every one of you, our young men. So thank you. I want to give them again another round of applause. So Coach Aranda's and my relationship began on Thursday, January 9th at about 8:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Coach was preparing to win a national championship that following Monday versus Clemson. I was trying to get back home to Waco. Amy and I were, and I was in a 4-foot by 4-foot office in the Sierra Blanca Regional Airport. And I recall that conversation, the first time that I'd ever gotten on the phone with Coach. And I just remember as that conversation continued, that the momentum continued to build. And it continued to build as he was talking about his faith, and that his faith was at the core of the way he coached. And it continued to build when I understood that this was a man that was truly a leader of young men, and had done it and had believed in it, and didn't just talk about it, but lived that life. He was a man that was not only going to show our players in terms of playing the game, but he was going to make sure that they knew the game. And I remember at some point in time during that conversation, I started to think, this could be our next head coach. This could be our next head coach. And as we continued our journey on the search, and we started to think about what we really want in our next leader, we talked about the mission fit, absolutely. Baylor's Christian values, something that we will never, ever compromise. And we thought about, again, the idea of pouring into young men and challenging them to be the very best they can be, not just in football, but in everything in their life. This idea of everything counts, everything matters. And then we thought about this idea of somebody that can help us and take us to that level to where we can win at the highest level and doing it the right way. And as we continue to think, every single time we were led back to Coach Dave Aranda. And in fact, everybody in the committee said, there's just something special about Dave Aranda. And so as we continued, there's no doubt in my mind that God led us to Coach Dave Aranda. You see, Coach is not just a great coach. He's not just a thoughtful, caring, wonderful person. He's not just a ninja. And he's not just a winner. Coach Aranda is a transformational leader of young men. And he is the right man to lead our program going into the future. And so please, all of you, join me in welcoming Dion and Jordan and Jalen and Ronan to the Baylor University family, right? And please join me in welcoming our new head coach, Dave Aranda.
What was it about this Baylor situation that really intrigued you and made you excited? Well, the ability to win a national championship.
Good morning. Thank you guys for being here this morning. I apologize for doing this on a holiday. Really wanted to have somewhere my family could be here. I'm so blessed that I could be standing here as Baylor University head football coach and my family sitting down with me. Also wanted to do it today so we can get on the road and hit out and recruit. You know, when this job became available, I thought about family right away. My oldest daughter, Jalen, I've seen her interact with her friends, and I've seen her interact with us as a family, and she's got such a great heart. And I've always been impressed with her, and you're always worried about as a father with teenage girls, mean girls and that. And she's handled that with such grace, and I give my wife Dion's got such a hand in that. Jalen had Baylor as a school to look at, as a school that was a favorite of hers, where she wanted to go to school. And I remember that was when I first started to look at Baylor. I know that, I had been in this league before, and we've played Baylor, and I knew some of the coaches that have been through Baylor. I started to look at Baylor, and I could see the Christian mission. I could see small classes. Education was important. I could see that, great facilities, great community, people cared, people valued Baylor University and the sports programs. I could see that they were winning at a big stage, at a high level, and they were doing it the right way. You could see that starting with Jalen. When we were prepping for our semifinal game, we had watched a lot of Baylor, 2 games worth versus Oklahoma. And I remember watching the TV copies. And in the TV copies, I could see the togetherness of the team. I could see the toughness of the team. I could see in between the white lines, the energy and the focus and the effort. But I could see on the sidelines, when we were up and when we were down, I could see the leadership. I could see guys bringing each other up. Man, you saw love, and you saw togetherness. You saw a team. So anyways, when this job came open, I said, this is in my heart. This is me. I feel like this is God talking to me. And when I had the opportunity to talk to Mac, I was so excited. It just felt right. I'm happy to be in front of you guys this morning. I want to thank my family. I have a beautiful wife. We've been going since sophomore year of high school. So I was the linebacker and she was the cheerleader. Those of you that meet her, she's still 100% cheerleader. I would not be here, Dion, without you and what you give to our family. The ultimate coach's wife, the effort and the energy you put into our family, babe, I love you. I'm so proud of my 3 kids. I think everyone that meets them, they come and they talk about how great hearts they have and how they're able to look them in the eye and talk to them. And my boy Ronan, you got complete sentences now, so it's all looking up. I felt like there was a connection there. I felt like that's a fit. I remember thinking about Jalen and her and I's talks, and it just got me really excited. When I was able to meet the search team, we were able to talk quite a bit when they were eating all of our gumbo and stuff, and such great people, and it felt right. I could sense that their hearts were wide open, and I could felt that they wanted somebody that was like them. When I've had the opportunity to meet with President Livingstone, what strikes me is the warmth and the intelligence. Her family is outstanding, was able to have lunch yesterday, and the thing I didn't know was the competitiveness. It strikes you right away. You can sense that. That's right there. At the most basic level, I feel like this is home for us. The people that we meet when we walk through the hallway, the players when I sit down and I meet with you guys one-on-one, I can sense you're one of team. You're one of a unity. I want to be a part of that. I'm excited to start recruiting. I'm excited to get our staff together. That's a process that we're just starting. I'm excited to be able to meet you all. You know, when Baylor comes to my mind, I think of Grant Taft. I think of great coaches that have come before me. I had the opportunity to speak to Grant Taft, and I told him a story of when I was a student assistant at the football coaches convention, and I would get up in the morning and I made sure I listened to his speech. And I remember I was in the hallway a day or two afterwards, and I was talking to a friend, and Grant Taft came walking by, and I stopped and got off to the side and go, geez, that's Grant Taft. And so to be in this position, to be at the school that he was at, that he had success for, and that he is a symbol of the values that are here, it's just so cool. I had the opportunity to talk to Matt Rule the other day. And Matt was someone I had told the search team that while I was at LSU, I wanted to come and visit Baylor, because I loved what they were doing on defense. And I loved, I would find myself pulling up YouTube videos of Matt Rule speaking, talking to the team, his motivational talks, and was just so impressed. And here's a guy that's doing it the right way. Here's a guy that I would aspire to be. And so when I had the chance to talk to him, it was really fulfilling for me, and you could tell right away, such a great person. He has built such a great foundation here. I'm excited about taking the next step in that foundation and furthering the progress that he's made. Let me see here. When we had our talks with the search committee, the number one question was, why Baylor? That was an easy answer for me. I'd have always wanted to be a part of a program that was smart, tough, and dependable. And in my study of Baylor, that's everyone that's sitting and standing here. And to be around people that believe in those same values, that are built in those values, you can go anywhere you want to go. With those intangibles, at the most basic level, you could see that Baylor shared the same values as myself. To have the opportunity to coach with your Christian faith out front was a big pull. Unfortunately, in most schools, that's not looked upon as something to be. At Baylor, I can coach being myself. And I can coach from the heart versus alongside kids that have their hearts wide open. I'm excited about connecting with coaches throughout the state that believe in the things that I believe, and building a family of coaches that can coach from the heart and coach the right way. I feel like as a player, I've never met a player that would want to go out and make mistakes. They would want to go out and purposely not do the right thing. I think players want to do well and want to succeed. And so I think when they know that you care about them and that you've got their back and that you've done everything you can to prepare them, when there is failure, you look at it as a learning opportunity, and you know that God's got a great plan for you, and the next time will be better. That'll be our values here. Excited to be back in Texas. You know, when Dion and I were in Texas a couple years ago, we loved it, and we loved the high schools, the education that's available. It's great to be able to make connection with the Texas High School Football Coaches Association, have such admiration and such respect for the coaching that goes on in this state and the teaching that goes on in this state. You know, to be able to set foot in Waco and grow roots and have our girls enjoy high school and have Ronan come up through the ranks is something that me and my family look forward to very much. I think if we can have half the success that Chip and Joanna has had in Waco, we'll be all right. I wanted to close with some thank yous. You know, when I think back of my journey coaching, I think of the players that I coached. I think of coaching in Division III, and I'm a sophomore in college, and I'm holding a position meet in our English building. And I'm coaching a senior, a kid that's older than me, and I'm talking about block protection, footwork, and stance and that. And, you know, he's listening to me, and he's all in, and he wants to get better. And the relationship I have with that year's group, I still have today. I think of Texas Tech being a grad assistant and being on defense and being responsible for the scout team offense, and all of my relationships with kids that were walking on and just wanted to be coached and just wanted to have someone know their name, you know, and someone pay attention to them, someone ask them how they're doing, right? Someone ask them, how did school go, right? When's your next test? Is there anything I can do to help you? Sonny Cumbie was our scout team quarterback. I've got a great friendship with Sonny to this day. I think of the University of Hawaii when I was there, and just the kids that we had from good parts of town, bad parts of town, right? Kids from Hawaii, kids from all across the country coming together and being a team, having the opportunity to win the WAC championship. Those relationships I still have. Those guys I still talk to. Corey Paredes was a linebacker for us, was an all WAC guy. I remember Colin Kaepernick running around trying to score a touchdown. There's Nevada at Hawaii, and Corey fended off 2 blocks, ran 20 yards, got the ball out, fumble at the 1. Hawaii wins the game. Corey and I still talk about that all the time. I remember Devin White. Devin at LSU was a Buckus Award winner. Devin would be at the office on Sunday prior to me showing up, wanting to watch film. He'd already watched it, and he would say, "Coach, what do you think here? Why did you call this here? What could I do better there?" Devin wanted all the coaching and more. Fill me up. And I was inspired to give him everything I had. I think of players first. This is a player's game. Players play this game. Players win games. I want to thank my coaches, my head football coaches all throughout, especially Coach Ogeron. I've got such great respect and love for Coach O. When I called Coach O and told him that I was taking the Baylor job, he was so happy for me. I told him that I'd learned more from him than any other coach I've been around. His story of hardships, learning from those hardships, applying lessons learned, having success, and then sharing it with a group of men. There isn't a better story than that. And I'm so blessed to be a part of that. And I thank Coach O for that. I'm thankful for my athletic directors that I've been associated with, whether it's Barry Alvarez or Joe Oliva or Scott Woodard. Their leadership skills and how they treated their teams. It's something I'm always going to remember. You know, all of these men, right, have their traits and their values, in part, have made me what I am today. Guys, I'm so excited to be the head coach at Baylor. I'm excited to be working for y'all, right? This is just the start. Sick and Bears.
Any questions? Yes.
Thank you, guys.